Maybe tonight you're exhausted, but your mind still won't rest. Maybe your thoughts keep racing. Maybe anxiety keeps interrupting your peace. Maybe you've been trying to sleep for hours, but your heart still feels restless. Maybe every time you close your eyes, another worried thought appears, another fear, another overwhelming emotion sitting heavily inside your chest tonight. And honestly, sometimes nights feel heavier than days, because during the night, everything becomes quiet, and suddenly, every anxious thought feels louder, every fear feels closer, every burden feels heavier inside the heart, and sleep begins feeling impossible. But tonight, before sleep comes, God wants to calm your heart, not with pressure, not with fear, but with peace, gentle peace, healing peace, the kind of peace that slowly quiets anxious thoughts, the kind of peace that helps emotionally exhausted hearts finally feel safe enough to rest. Because even now, while this room is dark, while your mind feels overwhelmed, while your body feels tired, God is still beside you tonight, near your bed, near your thoughts, near every exhausted place inside your soul. And tonight, His presence is already beginning to calm you slowly. So before sleep comes tonight, take a deep breath, because this night does not belong to anxiety anymore. This night belongs to God's peace. Father, tonight I come before you emotionally exhausted. My body feels tired, but my mind still feels restless. My thoughts keep racing. My heart feels overwhelmed. And honestly, Lord, I just want peace tonight. Lord, you know every anxious thought inside me right now, every fear keeping me awake, every overwhelming emotion sitting heavily inside my chest, every restless moment where my mind refused to slow down. You saw every sleepless night, every anxious spiral, every moment I quietly whispered, God, I just want to rest. And honestly, Father, sometimes anxiety feels so loud during the night. Sometimes overthinking feels impossible to stop. Sometimes the heart feels emotionally exhausted, but still unable to fully relax. But tonight, I no longer want anxiety controlling this night. I no longer want fear stealing my sleep. I no longer want restless thoughts overwhelming my peace. So Father, please calm my thoughts tonight. Slow down my racing mind. Quiet every anxious emotion inside me. And let your presence become stronger than every fear keeping me awake tonight. Father, please let peace slowly enter every restless place inside me. The places carrying stress. The places carrying fear. The places carrying emotional exhaustion from worrying too much for too long. Please comfort those places gently tonight. Because anxiety has interrupted too many nights already. Fear has stolen too much rest already. And overthinking has exhausted my mind for too long. But tonight, I believe your presence is restoring peace inside me slowly. Peace in my breathing. Peace in my thoughts. Peace in my emotions. Peace deep inside my soul. Father, for every person listening to this prayer right now, please calm them tonight. The ones struggling to sleep, the ones emotionally exhausted from overthinking, the ones lying awake with anxious thoughts racing through their mind. Please stay close to them tonight. Wrap them in peace. Let them feel emotionally safe in your presence. And remind them that they do not need to carry every fear alone tonight. Lord, please let this room become peaceful tonight. Let every anxious atmosphere disappear. Let every overwhelming thought become quieter. Let every fearful emotion soften. And let your peace slowly cover every restless heart listening tonight. Father, as this prayer continues tonight, let every anxious thought lose its power. Let every burden become lighter, and let deep peace slowly fill every exhausted soul listening tonight. Father, tonight, I bring every restless thought into your presence again, every fear keeping me awake, every anxious emotion interrupting my peace, every overwhelming thought racing through my mind tonight. I surrender it all to you now. Because honestly, Lord, sometimes nighttime feels emotionally exhausting. The room becomes quiet, but the mind becomes louder. The body feels tired, but the thoughts refuse to slow down. And little by little, anxiety steals the peace the heart desperately needs. But tonight, I no longer want fear controlling this night. I no longer want overthinking becoming louder than your presence. I no longer want anxiety stealing my rest. So, Father, please quiet my mind tonight. Quiet every racing thought. Quiet every fearful scenario. Quiet every overwhelming emotion still sitting heavily inside my chest. And let your peace slowly calm everything inside me tonight. Lord, there are moments where my mind feels impossible to slow down. Moments where anxiety keeps replaying fears again and again. Moments where exhaustion fills the body, but the heart still feels restless inside. And honestly, sometimes I feel emotionally drained when overthinking so much. But tonight, I choose to place those thoughts into your hands, because I know you never intended for me to carry every fear alone. Father, please calm every anxious thought inside me tonight. The thoughts about tomorrow, the thoughts about things I cannot control, the thoughts making me feel emotionally overwhelmed and restless. Please calm those thoughts gently tonight and replace them with peace. Deep peace, healing peace, the kind of peace that reminds anxious hearts they are finally safe enough to rest. Father, please let this room become peaceful tonight. Let every anxious atmosphere disappear. Let every overwhelming emotion soften. Let every restless thought become quiet. And let your presence gently comfort every exhausted soul listening now.
Lord, there are people listening tonight whose minds feel emotionally overwhelmed. People lying awake with anxious thoughts racing constantly. People mentally exhausted from carrying fear every single night. People trying desperately to sleep while their thoughts refuse to slow down. Father, please calm those hearts tonight. Wrap them in peace. Let them feel emotionally safe with you. And remind them that they do not need to fight anxiety alone tonight. Because some people listening tonight have spent too many nights feeling restless, too many nights overthinking, too many nights emotionally exhausted from fear and anxiety. But tonight, Father, I pray that your peace changes that slowly. Let breathing become calmer. Let thoughts become quieter. Let emotional heaviness leave the chest. And let deep calmness slowly fill every restless heart listening now. Father, please help us stop carrying tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. Help us stop living trapped inside anxious thoughts. Help us stop believing that rest is impossible for us. Because anxiety says we will never relax. But your presence reminds us that peace is still possible tonight. Fear creates restlessness, but your presence creates calmness. Fear overwhelms the mind. But tonight, your peace is gently healing anxious hearts again. Lord, for the person listening right now, whose mind feels restless and overwhelmed, please let tonight feel different for them. Let them feel lighter. Let them feel calmer. Let them feel emotionally held by your presence tonight. and let peace slowly return to every anxious place inside their soul. Father, thank you for calming overwhelmed minds. Thank you for comforting anxious hearts. Thank you for bringing peace into restless nights. And thank you for reminding us tonight that true rest is found in your presence. And if this prayer is helping calm your heart tonight, take a moment to like this video so more people struggling with anxiety and sleepless nights can find this prayer too. And if you want more peaceful night prayers like this, subscribe to this channel so we can continue finding rest, comfort, and peace together in God's presence every night. Father, as this prayer continues tonight, let every anxious thought become quieter. Let every burden become lighter. And let your peace slowly calm every restless heart listening tonight. Father, tonight, I feel your presence slowly calming my restless mind. The anxiety is becoming quieter. The tension is becoming lighter. And little by little, my heart feels safer with you again. Father, thank you for staying close to me during sleepless nights. Thank you for understanding anxious thoughts that words cannot fully explain. Thank you for seeing every restless moment where my mind refused to slow down. Because honestly, Lord, sometimes nighttime feels emotionally overwhelming. The body becomes exhausted, but the thoughts keep racing. The room becomes silent, but anxiety becomes louder. And after carrying fear for too long, the soul quietly becomes tired beyond words. But tonight, I no longer want anxiety controlling my peace. I no longer want fear stealing my rest. I no longer want overthinking exhausting my heart. So, Father, I place every restless thought into your hands again tonight. Every fear about tomorrow, every anxious emotion, every overwhelming thought still sitting heavily inside my mind, I surrender it all to you, because your peace is greater than my anxiety. Your comfort is stronger than my fear, and your presence is more powerful than every burden keeping me awake tonight. Father, please let deep peace settle over this room now. Let every anxious atmosphere disappear. Let every restless thought soften. Let every overwhelming emotion become quiet, and let your presence gently restore every exhausted heart listening tonight. Lord, there are people listening now whose minds feel emotionally overwhelmed. People lying awake night after night. People mentally exhausted from overthinking constantly. People trying desperately to sleep while fear and anxiety keep interrupting their peace. Father, please calm those hearts tonight. Let them breathe deeply again. Let them feel emotionally safe again. Let them feel protected in your presence tonight. Because some hearts listening tonight have forgotten what true rest feels like. Fear has interrupted too many nights. Anxiety has stolen too much peace. And overthinking has exhausted their minds for too long. But tonight, Father, I pray that your peace changes that slowly. Let breathing become calmer. Let thoughts become quieter. Let emotional heaviness leave the chest. And let deep calmness slowly fill every restless soul listening now. Father, please help us stop carrying fears that only you were meant to hold. The fear of tomorrow. The fear of uncertainty. The fear created by anxious thoughts during lonely nights. Help us release all of it into your hands tonight. Because peace begins returning when the heart finally stops fighting alone. And tonight, we are finally resting in your presence. Resting in your peace. Resting in the comfort of knowing that you are watching over us tonight. Lord, for the person listening right now whose mind feels restless and exhausted, please let tonight feel different for them. Let tension leave their body. Let heaviness leave their chest. Let anxious thoughts lose their strength. And let emotional peace slowly return inside them tonight. Father, thank you for calming overwhelmed minds. Thank you for comforting anxious hearts. Thank you for restoring peace during restless nights. And thank you for reminding us tonight that true rest is found in your presence. Lord, as this prayer continues, let every burden become lighter. Let every anxious thought become quieter. And let your peace slowly comfort every exhausted heart listening tonight. Father, tonight, I bring every anxious thought into your presence again. Every fear keeping me awake. Every restless emotion. Every burden making my heart feel overwhelmed during this quiet night. I surrender it all to you tonight. Because honestly, Lord, sometimes nighttime feels emotionally heavy. The room becomes dark. The world becomes quiet. And suddenly, every anxious thought feels louder inside the mind. Every fear feels bigger. Every burden feels harder to ignore.
But tonight, I no longer want anxiety controlling this night. I no longer want fear becoming louder than your peace. I no longer want overthinking stealing my rest. So, Father, please let this night become peaceful. Peaceful inside my thoughts. Peaceful inside my emotions. Peaceful inside every exhausted place within my soul tonight. Lord, there are moments where the heart desperately wants rest, but the mind refuses to slow down. Moments where overthinking feels impossible to stop. Moments where fear quietly steals peace little by little. And honestly, sometimes anxious nights become emotionally exhausting. But tonight, I choose to place every restless thought into your hands, because I know you are still here beside me tonight. Even during sleepless nights, even during anxious thoughts, even during moments where peace feels far away. Father, please quiet every fearful thought inside me tonight. The thoughts about tomorrow, the thoughts about things I cannot control, the thoughts making me feel emotionally restless and overwhelmed. Please calm those thoughts gently tonight and replace them with peace. Deep peace, healing calmness, the kind of peace that reminds anxious hearts they are finally safe enough to rest again. Father, please let this room become peaceful tonight. Let every anxious atmosphere disappear. Let every restless emotion soften. Let every overwhelming thought become quiet. And let your presence gently comfort every exhausted soul listening now. Because some people listening tonight have spent too many nights struggling to sleep, too many nights battling anxiety, too many nights emotionally exhausted from overthinking, too many nights wishing their mind would finally become quiet. But tonight, you are reminding restless hearts that peace is still possible. Peace after fear, peace after anxiety, peace after long nights of emotional exhaustion. Father, please help us stop believing that anxious nights will last forever, because fear says we will never rest again, but your presence reminds us that peace is already near. Anxiety creates restlessness, but your presence creates calmness. Fear overwhelms the mind, but tonight, your peace is gently slowing anxious hearts again. Lord, there are people listening right now whose minds desperately need rest tonight. People mentally drained from constant overthinking. People emotionally exhausted from carrying fear alone. People lying awake wishing for peace to finally come. Father, please comfort those hearts deeply tonight. Wrap them in peace. Let them feel emotionally safe again. Let them feel protected in your presence tonight. And remind them that they are not fighting anxiety alone anymore. Father, please calm every restless thought inside us tonight. Slow down every anxious emotion, and let your peace become stronger than every burden keeping us awake tonight. Because where your presence is, hearts finally breathe again, thoughts slowly quiet down again, and exhausted souls finally begin resting again. Father, thank you for calming overwhelmed minds tonight.
Thank you for comforting anxious hearts. Thank you for restoring peace during restless nights. And thank you for reminding us tonight that true rest is found in your presence. And if you're still praying with me tonight, leave a comment saying, "God is calming my mind," as a declaration of peace, rest,
and emotional healing over your life tonight. Father, as this prayer continues, let every anxious thought become quieter. Let every burden become lighter, and let your peace slowly calm every restless heart listening tonight. Father, tonight I feel your presence slowly calming the restlessness inside me. The anxiety is becoming quieter, the tension is becoming lighter, and little by little, my soul feels safe enough to rest again. Father, thank you for staying beside me during sleepless nights. Thank you for understanding anxious thoughts that nobody else fully sees. Thank you for comforting my heart when fear and overthinking become overwhelming. Because honestly, Lord, sometimes nighttime feels emotionally exhausting. The body feels tired, but the mind keeps running. The eyes want sleep, but the heart still feels restless inside. And after too many anxious nights, the soul quietly becomes exhausted. But tonight, Father, I no longer want anxiety controlling my peace. I no longer want fear stealing my sleep. I no longer want overthinking draining my emotional strength. So, Father, I place every restless thought into your hands again tonight. Every fear about tomorrow, every overwhelming emotion, every anxious thought still sitting heavily inside my chest. I surrender it all to you. Because your peace is stronger than my anxiety. Your comfort is deeper than my fear. And your presence is more powerful than every burden keeping me awake tonight. Father, please let deep calmness settle over this room now. Let every anxious atmosphere disappear. Let every restless thought soften. Let every overwhelming emotion become quiet. And let your presence gently restore every exhausted heart listening tonight. Lord, there are people listening now whose minds feel emotionally overwhelmed. People struggling to sleep night after night. People mentally exhausted from constant overthinking. People emotionally drained from carrying fear silently in the dark. Father, please comfort those hearts deeply tonight. Let them breathe deeply again. Let them feel emotionally safe again. Let them feel protected in your presence tonight. Because some hearts listening tonight have forgotten what peaceful rest feels like. Fear has interrupted too many nights. Anxiety has stolen too much peace. And overthinking has exhausted their minds for too long. But tonight, Father, I pray that your peace changes that slowly. Let breathing become calmer. Let thoughts become quieter. Let emotional heaviness leave the chest. And let deep calmness slowly fill every restless soul listening now. Father, please help us stop carrying fears you never intended for us to carry alone. The fear of tomorrow, the fear of uncertainty, the emotional pressure created by anxious thoughts during lonely nights. Help us release all of it into your hands tonight, because peace begins returning when the heart finally stops fighting alone. And tonight, we are finally resting in your presence, resting in your peace.
Resting in the comfort of knowing that you are watching over us tonight. Lord, for the person listening right now whose mind feels restless and exhausted, please let tonight feel different for them. Let tension leave their body. Let heaviness leave their chest. Let anxious thoughts lose their strength. And let emotional peace slowly return inside them tonight. Father, thank you for calming overwhelmed minds. Thank you for comforting anxious hearts. Thank you for restoring peace during sleepless nights. And thank you for reminding us tonight that true rest is found in your presence. Lord, as this prayer continues, let every burden become lighter. Let every anxious thought become quieter. And let your peace slowly carry every exhausted soul into deep and peaceful rest tonight. Father, as this prayer slowly comes to an end tonight, I pray that your peace remains deeply inside every restless heart listening now. Not temporary calmness, not fragile comfort, but deep and lasting peace. The kind of peace that quiets anxious minds. The kind of peace that calms overwhelmed hearts. The kind of peace that gently carries exhausted souls into restful sleep. Father, Thank you for staying with us tonight. Thank you for calming our anxious thoughts. Thank you for comforting us during sleepless nights. Thank you for reminding us that we are not fighting anxiety alone. And even now, I can feel your presence filling this room with peace. Soft peace, gentle calmness, quiet comfort, like a loving reminder that we are finally safe enough to rest. Father, please let that peace remain here tonight. Let it stay over this bed, over this room, over every restless and exhausted heart listening now. And as the night becomes quieter, let every anxious thought become quieter too. Let every fearful emotion soften. Let every overwhelming burden lose its power. And let deep, peaceful sleep finally arrive. Father, there are people listening tonight who desperately needed rest. People emotionally exhausted from overthinking every night. People mentally drained from carrying fear and anxiety alone. People lying awake wishing their mind would finally become quiet. But tonight, you reminded them that peace is still possible. Peace after anxiety. Peace after fear. Peace after long nights of emotional exhaustion. Father, I pray that this peace follows us into tomorrow. When anxiety tries returning, remind us of this moment tonight. When fear becomes loud again, remind us to breathe deeply and rest in your presence. When restless thoughts try overwhelming the mind again, remind us that your peace is still greater. Lord, please protect every person listening tonight while they sleep. Protect their thoughts. Protect their emotions. Protect their hearts from fear, anxiety, and emotional heaviness. Cover this room with peace. Let this atmosphere feel calm, still.
Quiet, safe in your presence. Father, for the person listening right now whose mind feels exhausted beyond words, please let tonight become different. Let emotional pressure leave their chest. Let tension leave their body. Let anxious thoughts lose their strength. And let deep emotional peace slowly return inside them tonight. Father, replace anxiety with calmness. Replace fear with comfort. Replace emotional exhaustion with restoration. Replace mental noise with deep stillness. And as sleep slowly comes tonight, let your presence remain beside us, comforting us, protecting us, watching over us through the entire night. Father, thank you for hearing every word of this prayer tonight. Thank you for loving us patiently, even during anxious and restless seasons. Thank you for staying close to exhausted hearts. And thank you for reminding us tonight that true rest is found in your presence. Lord, before this prayer ends tonight, I pray that every person listening now feels deeply surrounded by your peace, the kind of peace that restores tired hearts, the kind of peace that strengthens exhausted souls, the kind of peace that gently carries the mind and heart into rest. And if this prayer helped calm your heart tonight, take a moment to like this video so more people struggling with anxiety and sleepless nights can find this prayer too. And if you want more peaceful night prayers like this, subscribe to this channel so we can continue finding peace, comfort, and restful sleep together in God's presence every night. And before you sleep tonight, leave a comment saying, "God is calming my mind," as a declaration of peace, rest, and emotional healing over your life tonight. Father, we place every burden into your hands now. Every fear, every restless thought, every emotional anxiety, we surrender it all to you tonight. And as we close our eyes now, let your peace remain with us until morning comes. In Jesus' name, amen.